Greetings. We are walking through different variations of information problems that can lead to market failure. You've seen this slide many times because I've been using it to motivate this idea that market failure in this particular case is not because it's a monopoly or something like that. It's because there's information issues that make it hard for this market to work out. And this last one I want to talk about is something called adverse selection. And this is another form of information asymmetry. Adverse selection says that essentially you're getting that the information asymmetry is meaning that you are getting, the adverse selection means that the people who are selecting you are not the people that's going to make, selecting your product are not the people that are going to make things work for you. And so the easiest way to think about this is for us to consider the market for health insurance. Imagine that I'm going to go out, consider the market for health insurance. Imagine that I'm going to go out and get some, I'm going to sell some health insurance to this group of people. Suppose there's 100 people in this pool that I want to sell health insurance to, and I'm going to sell health insurance to this group for a common rate, the average rate. So in other words, I'm going to get a rate that everybody's going to pay the same rate, okay? And as a result of everybody paying the same rate, statistically, I will have, because I have an actuary that's helped me figure this out, statistically, if everybody pays this rate to me, I'll have enough to cover all the expected healthcare issues that happen over the course of the year for that group of 100 people. That's fine. So I pick one rate, and everybody gets to pay it. Now the problem is that when you think about this market, I'm going to do one of my thought bubbles. And earlier I introduced you, or I didn't introduce you, I just reminded you of something called the central limit theorem. And the central limit theorem says that once you've got over a debatable number, 35, 40 people, that this distribution of people is going to look kind of like a bell curve. In this case, this distribution would be on health. Some people have really bad health. They're down here. Some people have really good health, okay? Think about that pool of 100 people that I'm selling insurance to. If I quote one price to that pool, then that average price is a price that has to be enough to cover everybody's costs on average. Now it turns out there's a group of people in that pool, the top 10 people, who say, hey, wait a minute. I'm a healthy, strapping person. I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't run around in fast cars. Why should I be paying that average rate that everybody else is paying? Because I know there's some people over there like that guy DeBrock. He's overweight and he's old and all sorts of things are wrong with his lifestyle changes. Come on. And I'm getting out of here. So those top 10 people pull out. Now when those top 10 people pull out, who's left? 90 people. But those 90 people are what? Sicker on average than what they were when they had those 10 healthiest people in there. When these top 10 people go away, the people who are left are on average sicker. That means that the health insurance company has to raise the rate if the rate is going to be actuarial. If I don't raise the rate, what's going to happen to my health insurance company? It's going to go broke because I was pricing it so on average, I would just make enough money to stay in business. But unfortunately, now in the new world, I'm going to have to raise that because the average sickness, the average claims in this group are going to be higher than they used to be because those 10 healthy people are not there. But as soon as I raise the rate, what happens? Well, there's a few more healthy people who are right here and say, well, I'm out too. Okay? And so the adverse selection problem is that as you try to raise the rate to make it average for that group, somebody in that group, in this health insurance group, is now going to realize it's just not worth it for me to do that. And so they're going to pull out. And that collapses the market. The adverse selection issue here, which is, as I said, it's a form of information asymmetry. I just don't know enough about who the healthy ones and who the non-healthy ones are. I quote this average rate, but I do know that people who will know that they're healthy and they're going to be bolting on this, say, I haven't been to the hospital, I haven't been to see a doctor in 3 years. Why should I be paying all this money? This is a famous problem that comes from the, if you think about what we know is what we call Obamacare, it's called the Affordable Care Act. The Affordable Care Act has a very important key, is something that where we have no no pre-existing conditions. Everybody pays the same insurance, same premium for the same basket of coverage. Not necessarily the same. If you're in affordable care and I'm in affordable care, we may have different premiums because I may have picked a different type of plan, one that covers a little more, one that allows me to go out of my local area if I really want to go to Mayo for some things. Some packages don't have that, but for the particular package you choose, everybody who chooses that package gets the same rate. Okay, and the only way that works is when you have this this issue that Obamacare calls the individual mandate. The individual mandate says everybody has to have health care. Everybody has to have health insurance. Okay? And in Obamacare, the ACA said the individual mandate, you have to do it. If you don't, you're going to pay a big penalty. Now, the opponents of Obamacare took that to the Supreme Court, and back in June of 2012, the Supreme Court ruled that yes, the individual mandate was constitutional, that it was a legal part of that, and so that maintained this rule. But from our point of view, the issue here is that if you want to charge one rate, no matter what the person's health issues are, you need to have some rule to keep people from just saying, I'm out. Because otherwise, the people who are 21 and 22-year-olds really healthy, they're just not going to pay that insurance, okay? And you see that. We see that in the data. Thanks.